Welcome to Chair Yoga. Um, let's have some props, maybe a block, 2 blocks. Not that we often use 2 blocks. Strap. And over here I have a bolster, maybe for the end of class, or a cushion. And let's start near the edge of your cushion, edge of your chair, not cushion. Feet nice and grounded. Spread the toes, lift the toes. Notice how activating the feet feels. So my toes are lifted, they're spread, and then gently lower them down so they rest, melt onto the mat. And then push down into the balls of the foot and start to lift the heels up. So a completely different activation in the foot. One we call plantar flexion, and the other that we originated with was dorsiflexion. So let's try that again, lifting the toes, maybe even lifting the balls of the feet this time, and just noticing how that puts a zing through the legs and the ankles. Can you alternate between the two? Push down, lift up the heels. Push the heels down, lift up the toes and balls. And keep going. Maybe even close the eyes and feel how the sensations are through the feet to the brain. And the next time the feet lower, pause and relax the arms and elbows, shoulders. Sit up tall. And we'll do this similar dorsiflexion and plantar flexion using the base of the spine. So arch the back a little bit more so you feel a little tightness in the lower back. And then maybe sliding the hands a little closer to the knees. Push the low back out and drop the head and shoulders. Try that again. Arch, elbows come back, shoulder blades squeeze. Maybe the head lifts a little bit. And then forwards. So you're doing this gentle cat and cow movement. Now let's see if we can add some real brain power to this. This is going to grow some new neurons in the brain. Let's see if we can do both of those actions simultaneously. So we'll start with the feet. Lift the heels, drop the heels, lift the toes. Okay, so we've got that one. Now the next time you lift the heels, slide forward and round the back. Now dropping the heels, lift the feet, slide the elbows back and arch. So we've got the feet and ankles activating, moving together with the cat and cow. Good. Excellent. Let's try the same action with the legs extended. Extend both feet out so you feel a nice stretch through the calf muscle. Toes curled back and spread. And then point the feet. As I point the feet, my chair even tips forward. curl back and point. So the two flexions again of the foot, except legs extended this time. Now the next time you point the toes, slide the hands down and round the back. And the next time you curl the toes back, slide back up, sit up tall, even look up. So the whole posterior chain of the body is contracting and then stretching. Good. Meanwhile, the brain's got to sort out all of these movements. So moving the body in unusual ways, unusual sequences, activates the brain. Not necessarily in a logical way, but in a way where the nervous system is trying to communicate all this movement and sensation with the brain. Now, the next time you curl back, let's simply slide the hands down into a forward fold. And hold. For 3, 2, and 1. Walk the hands back up the legs, bending the knees. Lift the left knee up and hug the left knee in towards the ribs. You might have to adjust your seat. And we'll rotate that left foot. For 3, 2, and 1. Rotate that left foot the other direction. For 3, 2, 1. Now grab the back of the leg, the hamstring, point that foot out, and we'll point and flex the foot. Point the toes out, curl the toes back. 3, 2, and 1. And then holding the leg out, let's windshield wiper the foot side to side. Good. Bring that knee back in. And this time, if you can, lay the ankle against or over the thigh. So you're in a figure 4. With your hands, grab the ankle and the toes, and we're simply going to turn the foot with a passive ankle. So the hand is doing all the work. Firstly in one direction and then the other. And then pause. Keeping the figure 4, we'll do a couple of forward bends here. Bringing some stretch and relief into the glutes and the piriformis. So you can come down and up gently. Stretching out into this kind of dynamic variation of pigeon. And the next time you come up, we'll do some bicep curls, some strength work for the upper body. So imagine that your leg is like a barbell and you're going to pick it up the two hands from the ankle and the knee, and you're simply going to lift it up towards the chest, and we're going to hold this isometric bicep contraction. So the arms are working while the legs are stretching, or the hips are stretching. For 3, 2, and then gently release that leg back to the ground. Stretch it out for a moment. So right knee is still bent, left knee is straight, and we'll do a slide down that left leg, just getting into the hamstring. And then slowly come up, grabbing the bent knee. Left knee is now bent, of course, but we're going to squeeze that right knee in towards the ribs. And again, you can really squeeze with your arms, get some upper body strength going here as you rotate the foot. Rotate the other direction if you haven't already. And then grabbing the hamstring, extending the foot outwards, toes curled back and spread. And then point your toes like a ballerina. Curl back, point. So point and flex. Working all the muscles in the toes and the feet today. Toes curled back, windshield wiper, side to side. And then as you curl back, rest into figure 4. Grabbing foot and ankle, let's rotate the ankle with a passive ankle. So this will be a whole different feeling. It won't be so taxing on the muscular system of the ankle. It's going to be relaxing for it. At the same time, we're lubricating the ankle joint. Other direction. And then keeping the figure 4, just find some bowing action. Oh, up and down. Feeling that hip. And remember, the range of motion is you're looking for delicious discomfort at the end, not pain. We're just trying to find what is my range of motion in this variation of pigeon as I come forward and back. And the next time you come up, we'll do our weightlifting. We'll pick up the barbell, bringing that lower leg towards the ribs, and hold the isometric squeeze. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and gently release. Extending just the right leg. Left knee stays bent. We'll do a forward fold just to get back into the hamstring stretch. On this side. And then walking the hands up. both knees bent, grab the knees, come to the edge of your chair. Let's do some torso circles. Nice big. Oh, there's our cockatoos flying overhead. Loud birds. Oh yeah, really get into the hips today. Whew. And other direction. And we might try some warriors today. We'll see how we go with some warriors. All right, warrior one. So we'll start just with hip openings, opening the hip, closing the hip, other side. Back and forth. Add resistance if you like. That's going to be good for upper body strength. So as the hip closes, you press against the inner leg. As the hip opens, you press against the outer leg. So this is both lubricating the hip, but also working the hip opening and closing muscles. And the next time you open to that right side pause, and we're going to rotate the whole body on the chair, so swivel to the right. And the left leg is simply going to go back. And we'll work this, hold the chair for stability, but we're going to work this hip flexor here. We're going to warm that up. And then you bring the knee forward and up. And then back. Now when you bring it back, you can see the ball of the foot comes onto the floor, and you push out through the heel. So there's a, how can I say it? There's just the ball of the foot in contact with the ground, but the front foot is totally grounded. So bring that back up and back out. So knee lift, knee extension, 3, 2, and 1. Now hold back here. This is where we'll position ourselves for warrior one. So right thigh is on the chair, left thigh is not. And as you push back through that heel, you can see how my hips elevate slightly. I take the pressure off the chair. Some people will even be standing independent of the chair. And that's your warrior one. That's a big hip flexor stretch there. Now with the hands, you can either hold the chair with the right hand, or you can lift left hand and then right hand. And just for a moment, we'll work this pose. Hands on the hips. Sink back to the chair without losing the stretch. And then lift off the chair a little bit by pushing through the back foot. So you're just simply pushing through the back foot to lift yourself up and down. It's demanding work, strengthening work. And the next time you come down, pause and settle. Grab the chair for stability. And take your time to come out of this lunging warrior pose. So you grab the chair and you slowly allow the body to recoil. Now that back leg has got a lot of work that it's just done. So close the eyes and simply breathe into the sensations you feel. We don't need to rush away from the work we've just done and fidget. Just simply notice. And daily work on that is definitely going to add a lot of leg strength. So as we open and close the hips again, you'll probably notice one hip feels quite different to the other now. So we're going to do the other side, so the next time you open to the left, we'll pause and rotate the body towards the left. Grab the chair for stability, and then reach back and push through that back heel. So we start to feel that first leg extension. That's going to arch the back as well. And then follow through with the knee lift, bringing that back knee forward and up. So we're working the hip flexor here, back and forth. 3 more. Now the next time it comes back, we've got the leg extension ready to go, and all the work comes from that back leg. So as you straighten it, as you push the heel back, you feel the hips start to lift up off the chair, the weight comes off the chair. So that small movement, you might even be coming up 1 millimeter, or maybe an inch, but you feel the complete difference, the strength that goes into that leg to pump you up and down. If you want to hold isometrically into lunging warrior, you can. Arms lifted if you like. And to release, settle back into the chair. Grab the chair for stability. And in a very relaxed way, let the hips return back to neutral. Once again, soak in all the after effects of that shape. So lunging warrior is one of the more demanding shapes in yoga, in the standing poses. And it's been around for a long time, that shape. Let's rotate the torso to simply notice how that's left you feeling in the low back, hips, and other direction. So we move from lunging warrior, sometimes called warrior 1 in some schools of yoga, to warrior 2. So we'll start with our hip openings, open and close. And the next time the right hip opens, pause. Now this time, instead of rotating the torso, we keep the torso somewhat facing towards the front of the mat. So we're not rotating the whole trunk this time. We've just rotated the hip. And the way we move into warrior 2 is to simply heel toe that left leg to the left. And the idea is to keep the pinky toe grounded, and this leg's extended, this leg is bent, but we haven't rotated the torso. We've got the torso still. Mine's probably at almost a 45-degree angle to the front of the mat. Floating the hands out parallel. Now this action here to activate Warrior 2 from a seated position to a standing position really is activated by that front leg. So you kind of push into that front leg, and you can see I come forward away from the chair, the weight comes off the chair and then down. So I'm just pumping, just to give you a sense of the difference between chair support in Warrior 2 and lack of chair support. That front leg really does work. For 3, 2, and 1. Slowly dropping the hands. Settle back into the chair, grab the chair for support, and in that slow, gentle release, because we've been doing Warrior 2, the hips are wide open. We'll give them time to settle. So we're doing quite a bit of warrior work here today. All right, let's move through the hip opening and closing, preparing for the other side. Now the next time the left hip opens, pause, remembering both sit bones are on the chair, and we'll heel toe the right leg out to the right. So my heels aren't really, or my heels are kind of almost lined up, but that may not be the case for everyone. Again, I've got about a, 60-degree angle, 45-degree angle to that front mat. Plant the feet strongly. Now remember, this front leg's going to do a lot of the work, so you can even, as you push into it, you can feel yourself come forward and up off the chair. And if we add the arms, we're just adding the shape of Warrior 2 to that movement. So little pumps, maybe 1 mil, maybe you don't even come off the chair, you just feel, oh yeah, if I push that foot down, I come forward a little bit. And you can hold Warrior 2 if you like. Now remember to come down, you settle back into the chair, you grab the chair, and you ease back into a neutral hip position. So Warrior 2, one of the more demanding hip openers. Torso twirls just to loosen up again. Other direction. Now, one position that I don't teach in chair yoga that much, but we'll try today, is called Warrior 3. Now, to do Warrior 3, we need to change the position of the chair. So let's come out of chair into chair pose. So bringing the feet back, just hover forwards and backwards a few times so you feel your feet are in a position that if you stood up, you would be supported. So the further you come forward, at one point your buttocks will start to lift off the chair. And that means the weight's going into your feet and legs. And you can either stay on the chair or come off the chair into your chair pose. And then drop the hands to the chair and slowly stand up. I've become headless. Then bring your chair to the top of the mat and reverse its direction So you're facing the seat of the chair, and I'll turn sideways so you can see what I'm up to. And bring your hands to the seat of the chair. We'll start with downward dog. Walk your feet back and then push your hips back so you get this nice L shape or 7 shape. The more you push the hips back, the more stretch you'll feel. Now step the left foot forward about halfway, so not all the way to the chair. So you've got weight in your foot, but you've also got weight in the hands. Come onto the ball of the back foot, so the back foot, the heel is lifted. With the weight in the hands, you start to elevate that back foot up behind you. That's it. And then try to point the toes towards the floor. So you roll the right hip towards the floor. And this is our Warrior 3 position. And then slowly lower. Bring the feet side by side, hip width distance apart. Step the left foot back onto the ball. And elevate that foot behind you. And so you can start to feel the weight shift. Come back. Feet are hip width distance apart. Step the right foot back and up. And now you can play. Keep the right hand on the chair, and you can lift the left hand behind you like a supersonic wing. I'll show you what it's like to lift both hands behind you so you're in a complete balanced pose. No need to do this. So you're coming into a kind of flying warrior. Bring that hand down and slowly step the foot back. So Warrior 3 is a balanced position. Let's try that with the left foot back, keeping the left hand on the mat, on the chair. You can bring the right hand behind you, or both hands, only if that feels safe and steady for you. Stepping back. And just to show you the difference in the impact on the spine, let's go back to right foot back, both hands supporting you. Now this hand, this time keeping the right hand on the chair, you can lift the left hand in front of you rather than behind you. And that's what it looks like with both hands. And that's more the shape of the conventional Warrior 3. Slowly come back. Whew. Much more demanding. Left foot back. One hand forward, one hand on the chair. And this is what it looks like with both hands forward into Warrior 3. Slowly come back. Bend the knees and slowly stand up. All right, I think we'll come into some resting warrior on the ground, some restful work on the ground. So with your chair, bring your hands to the chair and slowly come to your knees and then onto your back with your legs lifted onto the chair. As you come into this static back position, Encourage the low back to relax, and the hands are about 45 degrees out from the hips, palm up. And gently turn the head to the right. Bring the head back to neutral. You could do this with your legs up on the couch as well. Turn the head to the left. Bring the head back to neutral. And then bring the right leg up into the air, toes curled back. So the left leg stays on the chair. You can even grab the back of the hamstring with your hands, if you will, to support that leg. Or you could put a strap around the right foot if you prefer to have a strap handy. I'll show you what that looks like. This is a nice way to stretch the hamstring. And it also gives you time to traction out the low back after all that work we've done. And then slowly bend the right knee and hug the right knee in towards your armpit. And once again, you can use a strap, or you can grab the hamstring. Some people can even grab their foot. And you bend the knee 90 degrees while you pull the hamstring down or the foot down with your hand, coming into half happy baby. So this is a different way to open the hip. And then just for a moment, let the right leg rest on the ground, extending it out. You might even have to swivel the hip a bit to the right so that the right leg clears the leg of the chair. And change your arm position to 90 degrees out from the shoulder. So this is also a wonderful way to relax the tightness in the back and the hips. And then slowly bring that leg back up into your static back position once again. Notice how your back is feeling. And then you can bring the left knee in towards the ribs now and give it a squeeze, keeping it more towards the armpit so you're not pressing down on your belly, you're keeping the legs slightly out. Now from this position, the idea is to bend the knee to about 90 degrees, so you release the acute angle, 90 degree, and you can pull the foot down or the hamstring down or use a strap to hold the foot, coming into half happy baby. And then heel to heaven, using the leg, straightening the leg, holding a foot with a strap or the hamstring, or just floating it in the air. And from here, we'll gently bring that foot down, laying it out beside the chair. Remember, you might have to scoot the hips a little to the left and bring the hands out at 90 degrees. And then bringing that foot back onto the chair, coming back to static back. Noticing how you feel. And then I'll go through my favorite transition to come back to a seated position. Number one, start by bringing the hands behind the head. Clasp the hands behind the head. And then start to slide the knees back so the feet come closer to you. So you feel yourself curling up into a little ball. Take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, lift your head up. So you're kind of holding your head up, curling into a tighter little ball. And this is where you roll over to one side without letting the head go. So you protect the head and you curl up, supporting the head in your fetal position. And the art of sitting up from here is simple mechanics. You take the top hand and plant it down in front of the heart on the ground. Spread the hand out. You straighten just the top leg out and slightly forward. Lean forward and push into the hand. The weight of the leg pushes you up. Both hands support you. And you come out of that lying position gently and onto your sit bones next to your chair, or if you want to sit up on your chair. And notice how you feel at this juncture in your class. And I want to thank you for joining me. Namaste.